back again with my wonderful husband, Doug, to talk about something that a lot of people wonder about, but are usually too afraid to ask. And that's the topic of my cares. People want to know if Doug is my caregiver, and if he is, how that impacts our marriage.
So I would say, in a sense, I am a caregiver for Tasha. I do help her do things that she isn't able to do completely on her own. But that's not my primary role. My primary role, of course, is her husband.
Absolutely. And that's why I have an amazing team of women that ranges anywhere from 7 to 12 people to work for me as caregivers to take care of those physical care tasks that I can't do on my own. They come in the morning and at night, usually only about 4 hours a day, as I'm pretty independent once I'm up in my chair. When I first had my accident, my mom, my dad, my sister, and even at times my brother were my caregivers. And I realized in those first few years that even though they did a great job, that I didn't want to have loved ones as my caregivers if I could help it, because it really strains a relationship and even can complicate a relationship.
Yeah, and that's one of the first things that we actually talked about when we started to talk about getting married. I was curious about how this was all going to work. So over the years, we figured out how to make it work for us.
Yeah, and one of the challenges we have is when we travel. Normally, I like to have a caregiver who can travel with us, but that isn't always possible, especially this past school year.
Right.
So when we're on the road speaking, for now, until we find someone who can travel with us, Doug does my cares.
Yeah, and it's just a part of life. If a caregiver doesn't show up for work, I'm going to take care of my wife. I'm not going to leave her in bed. There's no question about whether or not I would take care of her. I view it as a biblical kind of servanthood. We love and serve each other as spouses do in our marriage, and I strive to do that with joy and patience. One thing that inspires me is when you see an older couple where the wife isn't able to take care of herself anymore. Her husband does it because he loves her. You don't hear him complain because he does it out of love. It's a commitment he made. So I draw a lot of strength from that. That is what a real love and commitment is. It's not selfish.
Yeah, and I have to say, Doug and I have gotten a lot better at finding this balance. We've talked a lot about separating work and marriage because we work together every day, and then we're husband and wife every day. And then sometimes Doug helps with my cares. But most of the time, like we've said, I have a caregiver who can help with those things. It's really just better for our relationship.
Right. We also try and make sure we have our own things to do separate from each other, like reading. We both like to read, and I also like to paint. I think that helps keep life balanced too for us. And I look at some of the things I do, and a lot of them I would do no matter what, like cooking. No offense to Tasha, but she was a terrible cook before her accident.
Yes.
I would be taking care of that anyway. Huh?
Right. Yes. Awful cook. But here's something Doug can't do. Can't do my hair.
What?
I don't know what I would do without these wonderful women who do my hair. Doug can brush it, and that's about it.
Throw me under the bus, I see. Actually, no, I am not good at all when it comes to hair.
But I do want Doug to tell you about how he helps me with my makeup when we're on the road. I do my makeup, but Doug loads all of my brushes. Here you go.
I do, and I kind of do an imitation too.
Yeah.
Try and make it fun. It's called Fedrik.
Yes.
I am Fedrik Fedroska, and you come to the salon this morning for me to help your makeup.
Isn't that awesome? So I hope that answers your question. Everyone, Doug can help with my cares, but his primary role is to be my husband and for me to be his wife.
That's right.
I'll share a link in the comments that show how we go out on date nights together. I think you'll enjoy that. And our next video is all about driving.
And who do you think drives? Me or Tasha? You'll have to wait and find out next time.
See ya.